Now, another very important element in InDesign is to be able to create your paragraph styles. So right now, I don't have any paragraph styles. If I open my paragraph styles right here, they are blank. My character styles are absolutely blank as well because, well, I didn't build them yet. So what I can do here is I can just make them very, very quickly. I already have a bit of a style right here going on. I'm using Times New Roman. I'm using Jubilat as another typeface right there. So this guy right here, the big guy right here, could be my, or maybe that's a little bit large, but that could be my masthead or my master header or whatever you want to call it. So I'm just going to create a quick text box right here, and I'm going to go call it header right there. And I'm just going to again select it, and I'm going to go Jubilat bold, and then this time I'm going to make it a little smaller. 36 point was a little too much. 20, plenty of space. I'm going to use that color again. And I'm going to go subtitle style. There you go. I'm going to go header style, subtitle style. So I'm stylizing my type, right? So subtitle style could be smaller than that. I can make it, let's say, 14 point, and I can make a different color, a darker gray, a darker brown, for example. And I'm going to call that one body copy. So I'm just, oopsie, I can't type today, it doesn't matter. And I was using Times New Roman, right? So I'm going to Times New Roman regular for the body copy. And I'm going to make it black right there. But just to soften it up, I'm going to make it, let's say 80% right there. So it's going to be a light gray, right? So here I have my header style. That's what I want for my sections, for example, or whatever. My subtitle style right here, my body copy. So now I need to create some paragraph styles, right? So I want to go, okay, so this guy right there, I can go into the hamburger menu of my paragraph style right there, and you can go new paragraph style. And then I will call it header. And you can see in the laundry list on the left-hand side, right? So this is the general right here. The basic character format is exactly what I've just done right there. Jubilat bold, 20 points over 24, tracking of zeros. That's the space between the letters. And you can go through the whole list of paragraph styles, of paragraph specs, horizontal scale, indent and spacing again. So I don't have a space, I don't have an indentation or anything of this. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of a space after, which does not show yet because I'm just stylizing it, but it has not been created and it has not been applied yet. So I'm just going to add that just right now, just for, just for purposes. Tabs, I won't need a tab for a header. Paragraph rules, that's a rule basically below the text or above the text, above or below the text. I'm not going to have that for now. Justification, I'm going to turn that, so it's left full, no, it's full justified, sorry. Hyphenation, sorry, I don't want any hyphenation. I don't want to span columns. That means that the text can run across a text box that has multiple columns. Character color, that's my brown right there. Perfect, it's 100%. Okay, I'm okay with that. Now that it's been created, this text still has no text attached, but just all of them, right? So this one, I can just select that or just put my cursor in the line right there, it blinks in there, and I hit header. Boom, there's my header style. This guy right there, I can either go into the hamburger menu or click the little plus right there, and then paragraph style 1. Right away, it creates a new style according to this. Again, hasn't been applied. So I click on it, and now it's applied. And now that it's applied, and same thing here, I'm just going to make that one a new one right there, paragraph style 2. So what you can do now, you can completely deselect whatever you're doing and then only work within the paragraph style palette right there. So paragraph style 1 was my subtitle, so I can just double click in there. I can get into this window right here, or I can just click there you go, click a couple times. You can call it subtitle style right here, or you can again just double click on the whole thing, And then you can change things right there and there. Right there and then. So you can go, you know what, 14 point, you know, that's a bit large. So I'm going to make it, you know, 13 point. I'm going to change the leading so it's a little tighter, right? If my title goes into 2 lines, for example, I can do some tracking, you know, 25, 50. So that's a little, yeah, I don't like that. I'm just going to keep it as is right now. But what I can do is I can do a paragraph rule. So for example, paragraph below, like a rule below right there, I turn it on. By default, it's always 1 point, and it's always the width of your text frame. So I'm going to go, well, different color, text color. I want to make it a lighter brown, for example. I'm going to change the width. I'm going to make it super thin, 0.5 or even 0.25 would disappear. So, and then of course it's on the baseline. That's where all the letters align, right at the very, very bottom. So right now you need to create a little bit of offset. So if I add a little bit of offset, this is what happens. It just separates it. So that's a little much. So I'm going to go, you know, let's say 0.35. Yeah, maybe 0.4. So it's not touching the bottom of the Y right there. And you can change that to the width of the column or the width of the text right there. So it matches your text. So I'm going to go column. And I'm gonna, you can also do a left an indent. So let's say if you add an indent there, you go, it's an indentation within your line. But I'm gonna add a right indent from the right side by, let's say, 1.5 inch, just for, you know, lining it up, you know, just for demonstration purposes. What I can do as well, you can do a whole lot more, of course. But you know what, character color, I can change. I'm gonna change it to green. And no, you know what? I don't like it. I'm like, yeah, that's too dark. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to keep it like this. Yeah, just go okay. My body copy, again, that's my paragraph style number 2 that I just made. Again, double click it, call it body copy. If I can type, that'd be great. And then again, so this is my 14 point. That's way too big, right? You're not talking to older folks here. You're talking to hipsters. 10 point over 12, that's the leading, the standard leading. I'm just going to increase that just to have a little bit of space in between. 10 point is plenty. I'm going to again add a little space after, which you're not going to see until it's actually filled. Alignment to the left. I'm going to show you what balanced ragged lines does afterwards. I don't want any hyphenation, so I turn that off. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Indented spacing, it's aligned to the left. Sure, this is very basic stuff, right? And you can change the character color. Right now it's at 80% of black. I'm gonna make it pink, green, or whatever. I'll keep it black for now. And so there you go. So you have 3 styles right there. So the cool thing about this is you can go, you know, from here on, you can go under type and go fill with placeholder text, and it'll just fill up your column with that text right there. That is body copy, right? So let's say you've got a lot of copy from a client, you just go drop, you know, set all your styles and then drop the text right in. And then you go, okay, well, that's great, but my subtitles here, it's a little tight. So I'm just gonna double click on that and then add a little space after, and then this is what happens. Just like that. The body copy, I'm not a fan as well. It's still too large. I'm gonna drop it to 9 point. And I'm gonna do first line indent, you know, so it's has a nice little separation, for example, like this. You could also do drop caps as well, which I'm not a fan of personally, but you can do drop caps, meaning the first letter and every paragraph can be, you know, can be bigger like this, right? So you have to do 2 lines, 3 lines, whatever you prefer, right? 1 character, 2 characters, you know, that's really, really up to you. So I personally don't like that stuff, but it's just me. And there you go. So you have some basic paragraph styles right there dropped in. And the cool thing about that is you go, you know what? I need to have a new paragraph right here. So I'm just going to delete that guy right there. I'm going to do another title here. And then I'm going to go, oh yeah, that's a subtitle right there. Boom, done. And once you have that stuff set, then you can concentrate on your layout, on your images, on how you want to, you know, have a relationship between text and and images. One thing I was going to show you was your body copy right there. We had, actually, I'm going to show you that right there. I'm going to get rid of one word right there. This, that little one word at the end of a paragraph right here is called a widow. It's a single word on the line at the end of a paragraph, and then it creates a huge gap back there behind it, and it's just ugly. So you want to avoid those widows. So what you can do is within your paragraph style, the body copy paragraph style, remember we had the balance ragged lines right here. If I click on that, it just balances the lines, and it kind of rearranges text visually, right? So if I don't have that on, you have very long lines of text, and you have a tiny little guy at the end there, so it creates those weird gaps there. So here, just by doing that, it balances it out and then gets rid of most of the widows. So that's a cool little feature. The software does part of the work for you, and it kind of makes a nice little shape of the paragraphs, and it keeps it consistent and a bit blocky. Another cool thing as well. So this is for paragraphs, right? So big blocks of text, right? But what do you do when you have, for example, hey, that guy right there, those words right there, needs to be bolded, for example, right? So I'm just gonna go, you know what? I'm just gonna go change that from regular to a bold, right? And now it's bolded. As you can see in my paragraph style palette right there, there's a little plus. And it means it's been overridden, meaning it's been modified outside of the paragraph style. So if I option click, as you can see, if I option click back on that, it gets rid of the formatting that I just did, right? So what I want to do is I want to create a character style, and character style is, well, we have hyperlink already there. It's just that it changes just a few words or just a letter if you want within your paragraph. So let's say I create a new style right there, I apply it, right? And then I'll call it bold copy. Like so, and then I can just go, now I can just select that word right there, bold copy, that guy right there. And I'm gonna make another one right here. I'm gonna go italic, and I create another one again right there. And then this time I double click on it and I call it italic. And I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go character color, and this time I'm gonna add a color to it, because you can change exactly just the color of one specific word. If I don't change the tint, I change the color right here, right? And this is what it does. So it still does a tint of my brown, right? But if I double click on my character style, I go into character color, and if I actually change the tint manually, I go to 100%. There you go, there's my 100% text. Right? Before it was super light, now it's 100%. So you can influence that or not, that's up to you. You can also change the character style, right? Right now it's just italic, but I haven't changed the family. You can change the family as well. You can go, you know what, I'm gonna go Helvetica. And now it's a different font within a paragraph for just that one word, right? Or whatever word you want to select, right? This guy right there, italic, and then boom, it's in different font, different color. So this is very useful to change, for example, when you have, let's say you have a little 2 right there, and then it's either a subscript or a superscript, which are, like subscript is, it goes below the baseline. It's for, like for example, CO2, for example, right? So you want to have this as a special character, right? Because again, you get the little plus. The capitals hasn't changed, but that little 2 right there has been subscripted. Therefore, it's been edited outside of your paragraph style. So again, same thing. Create a new style right there. Stretch that. Call it subscript, because this one is subscript. The superscript will be above. And what I'm going to do here, you can create your own shortcut as well. So the software uses, on a Mac keyboard, it's a command and a number, or command and a letter. And if you have an extended keyboard, it's command and the numbers on the right-hand side, the little number pad on the right-hand side. And it only works within the software. Because if you go, let's say, for command 0 in InDesign, it'll go, it'll fit page. But if I go Command 0 with that number keypad on the right-hand side, it creates a special shortcut for that specific specific style. So now that it's has its own little shortcut, I can literally just go like this, select one letter right here, come on right there, and I go Command 0, and then there's my little X right below right there. So every style that you're creating, either it's a paragraph style or a character style, can have their own little shortcut as well. I personally go with a command. Let's say, body copy would be Command 0 for me, right? Because that's the base. Then my substyle, my header style would be my Command 1, because that would be my first title style. Subtitle style would be my Command 2, because that would be my second style, right? Technically, that's your hierarchy. And in my character styles, I go the body copy. You can do also Command Shift and a number. So I personally go Command Shift 0 for bold. Command Shift 7 for italic, because the 7 is a slanted number, so it looks like it's italicized. But that's just me. That's how I work. You don't have to follow the same thing. Subscript, Command 0 1, because it's the bottom left number. And if it was a superscript, I go Command Shift 9, because it's the upper number. And hyperlink, I don't really ever use it, but I can do the same thing. I can go Command Shift 5. So again, my character styles have Command Shift and a number, and my paragraph style have just a command and a number. And that allows me to do work really, really quickly. So if I drop some text right in there, for example, again, I'm just going to go first make sure that I don't have any paragraph styles. I don't have any character styles attached, right? And I'm just going to go, let's say I copy and paste the text from a document that was sent to me. So I'm just going to use the fill character right there. And so this is my text. I just do a text dump, right? I select all, Command A, and I apply my body copy style right there. Boom, done. I add a title here. Actually, header here. Header here, and that's my style number 1. So I do Command 1. Boom, done. Next line. Subtitle style 2, and I go Command 2, and there's my style right here. And then my first word right here is bolded, so I do Command Shift 0, and then right there, it's all italicized, just by using the shortcuts. And I have not clicked on my paragraph styles. I just use the keyboard to change that. So that allows me to change things very, very quickly. You can go number 2, number 0, just by using the keys as well to switch from one paragraph to another. I can go and then, and just go select some stuff right there and go like this. And then I'm not, as you can see, I am not using my mouse at all. I'm just staying within the same paragraph. That's the cool thing about this software. There's a lot of things you can set, to work extremely, extremely fast.